All right. All right. Man, that's a long song. Who put that on? That's crazy. Why would someone listen to that? It's so long. I don't get it. I have a feeling this tea is going to be too hot, but we're about to find out. We're like right on the verge. It's like right on the verge of being too hot. I think it's okay. I think I'll survive. I think I can start sipping and I will not be punished for my transgressions. I usually am, so I try not to transgress too much. Usually retribution does come around, so I try to avoid putting myself in a situation where divine punishment is headed my way. And I try to avoid the wrath of God uh, as much as possible. Anyway. Good evening. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? What's going on? What's up? What's up with my tablet? Why is it? Okay. I think the wire got caught on something. Yes, we're back with another brand new edition. What up, Grinner? What up, Stone? How's everybody doing? A big pork chop. That sounds good. Are you just eating it with your hands? Just like Minecraft? I was gonna say I can go for a big old pork chop, but I'm not hungry. I had a full dinner tonight, so I'm okay. I think I'll make it through the stream. I think I'll be able to make it through the stream without doing any snacking. I did some hardcore snacking earlier, so I think I'm satisfied as far as snackitude is concerned. But yes, we're here, and it's time for another art stream. Um, I don't know, I'm feeling self-conscious. I'm feeling aware. I guess self-conscious is the wrong word. I'm feeling conscious. I'm feeling aware tonight. I feel like my perception. I feel like I have a perception bonus. I'm rolling advantage on all of my perception checks. I'm too aware right now. You're tired? That's probably the mood you want to be in for these types of streams. I have a feeling it's going to be a sleepy stream tonight. I don't know why. I just get that sensation. I get that feeling, you know? What did we do last night? Oh yeah, we played Metal Wolf Chaos. That game is fun. I'm enjoying it. I don't know. There's something about it where it's like it's adding up to more than the sum of its parts to me. It's so much weirder than I thought it was gonna be. Like it's strange in all of the expected ways, but then there's like an extra layer of just bizarreness on top of it that I was not prepared for. Especially like the soundtrack and like the sound effects and like all of that are just like so odd. Like I didn't think that was gonna be like, I thought those were just gonna, I don't know, I just thought it was gonna be more normal in like it was gonna have like a funny premise and like be over the top in that sense, but be like pretty standard otherwise. But like everything about it is kind of insane. You're ripping chunks away from the spots hard to reach with your hands. Okay, I see. Caught. Exposed. I think we need to start, we need to start normalizing eating with your hands. There's like a few foods like sandwiches and like ribs and things like that. Chicken wings. There's few foods that are still acceptable to eat with your hands, and they're the most fun foods to eat. I think we need to bring back eating with your hands. We need to make that more, we need to normalize that. And we need to start preparing more foods that are designed to be eaten without the aid of cutlery. We need to become free of the shackles that we've placed upon ourselves. That polite society has thrust upon us. I do not agree. I know in some places that's the standard. And more places should be those places, is what I'm saying. More places should be that type of place. I think I put a lot of energy into the stream last night, I gotta say. I put a lot of energy into it, so I'm feeling I'm feeling somewhat drained tonight. I'm out of practice. I gotta build up my stamina again. Just taking a week off. Taking a week off and also like not really. It was a stressful week. Kind of. I don't know. It was weird. It was a strange week. It wasn't exactly relaxing. In fact, I probably expended more energy than I usually do. I probably ended up going through more energy expenditure expenditure than I did than I would normally. It's vague and distant barbecue flavoring. It's got barbecue essence. It has the memory of barbecue. Or I guess the premonition of barbecue. I guess a pig, it's like retro causality. You know? A pig, because the pigs that get turned into barbecue don't have offspring. Or maybe they do, I don't know. But you know, they wouldn't have offspring after becoming barbecue. So it's like, you know, they're getting like a sense memory of the future, of a possible reality that could have been but is not. And it's leaking through into the food. I wasn't very surprised. I guess not. I don't know. I'm not very like, I don't do big reactions, I guess, to things like that. I don't know. I'm very subdued in that regard, I guess. Would you like have liked more fanfare? Should I have started should I have busted out the emergency party poppers? It was the 4th of July. I could have lit off some fireworks. I could have blown off my hand with an M80. Would that have been festive enough? No? Okay. Tastes like someone a few tables over is demolishing some ribs. Can you, if you listen closely, maybe you can hear it. Maybe you can hear the distant sounds of someone eating ribs. As if muffled by the leaves of the forest. As if being eaten in the midst of a glade somewhere yonder. A vague memory of grapes. Hmm. Just the essence of a grape. The idea of a grape made it into that bottle of wine. The idea of a barbecue made it into that pork chop, but not quite the barbecue in and of itself. That could be a good idea. That could be a good idea for, like, you know, a cyberpunk type thing. Because, you know, like, taste and, like, smells and things like that are very good at jogging memories. They could have, like, foods that are bioengineered or, like, enhanced with whatever future technology you want to think of to elicit specific memories in the people that eat them. Like watermelon that's bioengineered, that whenever you bite it, you get a vague memory of summer and being at the beach or something. You know, beaches don't exist anymore because they got irradiated when the sludge factories explode. When the Californian sludge factories sank into the ocean and polluted the world's water supply all around the continental United States. But you can get a watermelon that when you eat it, it implants memories of being at the beach in your head. You get the sensation of it, even though you were never actually there. Somebody's probably already done that. Well, I guess that would be more like, that would probably be like the designer drugs of that universe. That's a little more, extreme than food paste. And then I guess like the food companies could like start slowly brainwashing the populace through that. Maybe that could be like one of the plot lines. That could be the subject of your TTRPG campaign. Tastes like a herd of fruit. I think the LaCroix has a good amount of flavor to it. I think it has the right amount of flavor. Like, that's what seltzer's supposed to taste like. If you want it to taste like, if you want a fruit drink, just drink like a juice. I don't know. I like LaCroix. I don't think it's particularly less flavorful than any other seltzers. A sturdy bottle of beer that tastes like piss. I think that's all beer. I think all beer kind of tastes like piss. Yeah, slipping some into the soup kitchens to make the homeless go even crazier. Although I feel like in the cyberpunk dystopia, you're just allowed to kill homeless people. So that's probably just the norm, is you can just kill homeless people. I imagine there's probably easier ways of doing that in the cyberpunk future. Less clandestine, but still accepted. But you know, this is your setting. You can do whatever you want with it. This is just a vague idea. But yeah, tonight we're gonna keep working on that idea that I kind of didn't want to like. I kind of wanted to. I almost said like the same sentence twice in a row, and it like tripped me up and made me confused. So I tried to switch up my word choice mid-thought, and it didn't really work. But we're going to be working on that concept that I started building out on the last stream, or the last art stream, which is the Yume Nikki fan game idea, which, as you can see by the title, is tentatively being called Yume Niwa, which is Dream Garden, because it sounds like Yume Nikki, but not quite. It's close, but it's not the same. Break your crank. I don't know what that is. It does sound like it could be about killing homeless people, though. It does sound like it could be a song about killing homeless people, or just a recording of that actually happening. Not even a song about it, just like an actual audio feed. Like an audiobook. An audio experience, I guess, is what you would call it. An audio documentary, an audio-mentary. You remembered an image you saw. Okay. That's cool. I'm glad. I'm glad you're capable of remembering things. Oh, I see. I don't know what I want to listen to tonight. I gotta think about this for a second. I gotta think about what it is that I'm feeling. I think last time we went with kind of like more ambient-ish music for this type of I think that was the vibe, but I think I might need a little bit more like, I don't know, a little bit more energy. I'm not sure though. I'm not feeling very energetic, so I don't want to try to force it. I don't want to try to force myself to be energetic. This is the image? Oh boy, what could it be? Oh god. You know, I've never seen Little Nicky. I know that Picture Point is a big fan of that movie. Well, this poster already doesn't make any sense because Madotsky would never be outside. This is a really bad movie poster. Is this the real movie poster to Little Nicky? I mean, besides the parts that are obviously not. It's like a really badly composited Photoshop. That's like an incredibly lazy movie poster. I would have expected something more than that. Huh. It's also not a very good movie. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to be. I'm not really a big Adam Sandler fan either. To be honest with you. He never really did it for me. I don't know, I feel like a lot of that era of comedy just didn't really do it for me. I kind of think I've always had like a weird sense of humor. Now that I think about it, I think I've always kind of been like a little off in that regard. I'll watch it if it's put on, but I'll never watch it outside of that. Jacob's Ladder was a good movie. Jacob's Ladder is a weird movie. Jacob's Ladder is very like, I don't know, it doesn't feel very cohesive, I guess. It's a good movie, but it's, from what I remember, it's very like, things just kind of happen. Like, it doesn't really have a very good flow to it, really. Things kind of just happen and you're like, okay, and then it's over. It's not a very tight movie, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it is weird in that regard. It feels like they had a lot of good ideas, but not weren't really sure how to tie them all together. Anyway, I think I know what I want to listen to. I think we'll go to an old standby. That's what I do a lot on these art streams. I just go to old standbys. I will try to... I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how the stream goes. We'll see if I can hit my stride. I'm feeling rather fatigued, so... I have a very intense desire to draw lately. I don't know, I'm feeling drive. I'm feeling passion. I just need to like start to like actualize it, you know, and build up some momentum again. Like I said, the trip really put a lot, it really put a lot of things into perspective. Made me think about a lot of stuff. And I still am. But, you know, that was one of them. I feel like I know what you're talking about. I feel like I also heard that. Wait a minute. I just noticed Scribble Millie is a little slightly... She's like slightly off on the thing. Hold on. There's like a little gap when there shouldn't be. There we go. The shot with the guy on the box thing with a bag on his head. I haven't seen the movie recently enough to instantly be able to know what you're talking about. But yeah, this is our main character that we were working on last time. And I think we're just gonna, I think I'm just gonna start working on sprites for her, or it, or they. I don't think it's a her, I think it's a they. Just slightly off. Just ever so slightly off. I need to, I don't know. I feel like a good way for me to like get back into artwork is always to just draw myself. Is to just draw a new Alchemilia. It's always very like, I don't know. I don't want to be one of those people that just like draws the same thing all the time, but I am known to do a lot of artwork of myself, which I like, so I don't know. Plus, I don't get too much fan art of myself. I get some, and I appreciate it all, but is this like, I'm trying to rearrange, this is not worth it. I'm trying to like rearrange things on the screen so they line up better, but it's really not worth it. It doesn't matter. I'm just like procrastinating. Oh yeah, I think I can do this. If I drag this over here. Yeah. I can have two things visible at once. Which is a feature that I really like and don't use nearly often enough. I always forget that I can do this because it like fucks with the view a little bit, but it is useful. What percentage of it is you? I don't know. That's a good question. Definitely the majority, but I've gotten a few over the years. You've done some, Pythani has done some, Cat has done some, Bedman has done some. I think that might be it. Oh no, Churl has done some. That's actually a great. That's actually a fair few people. That's more than I when I really listed out like that. Uh, that's more than I would have thought. This one. Oh, is it Francis Bacon? That looks pretty bacony. That guy's pretty famous. Also, kind of crazy that there's like two very famous people, both named Francis Bacon. Two very famous, very different people, both named Francis Bacon. I like Francis Bacon's artwork, but I don't think I would ever want to own any of it. That's one artist where I don't think I would ever want any of those pieces like in my house. Oh yeah, that's right. You said photographer. That's right. I forgot. I forgot it was photographer. But yeah, I think we're just gonna work on the sprites. I'm trying to just like get stuff done for this. I don't want to like overthink it too much. So I'm trying to like just go, you know? Hmm. I kind of want to give her like a high. I don't know. I kind of want to give her like a higher collar. I keep saying her. I kind of want to give him a higher collar. Maybe I'll just make it so that whatever gender you want them to be is canon. That seems easier. That's folly? Why is that folly? I don't think I saw this. I don't know. I don't know what I think of this, to be honest. I'm mainly focused on what these are supposed to be. They look like they could be little axes or little guns. That's mainly what I want to know, is what these are intended to be. I'm guessing they're axes, but I could see it going either way. "1945's Figure Study 1 on a wall somewhere." Let's see what this one is. Actually, I'm not gonna look that up. I'm already getting way too distracted. Throwing axes specifically, okay. I understand when I see how people act to such characters. Why do I care how people act? Why would I concern myself with such things? This seems like a good base. I want to make sprites that look kind of like sketches, I guess. Like, I don't want them to be like, I don't know, I want them to have their own unique little look to them. That one looks nice. That one's not horrifying. Oh, there's an online shop. There's books, art prints, and special products. You can buy an umbrella? Why? Oh, it has his artwork on the inside. I see. You could get a throw pillow, too. You could get a scary throw pillow. Well, I guess it's out of stock, so you can't, but you get a scary throw pillow. Let's zoom out a little bit. Oh no, I can already feel it. I can already feel the lack of commentary. I've already run out of things to say. Like I said, I feel like I expended a lot of energy last night. The streaming tolerance is a very like, it's very short-lived. As soon as you take a break, it like goes away very quickly. At least for me. You got to keep continuing to get your reps in, otherwise the strength leaves you. You like pre-rendered styles? I like them a lot too. I'm glad they're kind of making a comeback. It seems like people are doing more like... Grid is distracting me. I thought it was gonna help, but it's distracting. Are doing more like varied art styles in games. They're going for more unique approaches, it feels like, which I very much appreciate. Yeah, okay. All right, good luck with the cleaning. I hope it goes well. I don't know. I guess I haven't achieved a level of... I haven't achieved a level of recognition high enough where I know how I'll feel about people, how people react and treat my characters. I definitely want to take more of a hands-off approach, I guess, though. I don't really want to tell people what they can and can't do. That just doesn't sit right with me. I think I need to lower this, like, I think I need to lower my brush size a little bit. It's a little too... The background house at night. It's a good house. It's a good house. See, this is one of those moments where I wish I had an energy drink, so I could really turn it on. So I could destroy my body for momentary glory. The candle that burns twice as bright, you know, is really cool, and everybody likes it a lot. It's a great candle. It's everybody's favorite candle. I think this one's a little too meaty. A little too thick. Well, now it's not, Again, this is me obsessing over tiny details that nobody else is ever gonna notice, but... There we go, that looks a little better. That looks a little bit more in line with the other one, the other nub. It's not really a foot, it's just a nub. It's the idea of a foot. This feels like it would make for some really good background music in a Human Nikki Lake game. The cicadas with the droning in the background, I feel like that's really strong. I like the sound of cicadas. I find them very, I don't know, I just like it. Can I get this slight impression of cheeks? No, it just makes it look kind of lumpy. I don't know if I like that. I do want to adjust I think I just want to bring this down overall. I think I just want to bring these lines down a little bit overall. There we go. That looks a little better. Kind of. I think it's off. It's slightly off. Maybe I do need the grid after all. Yeah, it comes down to like about here. It needs to, yeah, it needs to come down to like about here. Yeah, that looks better. It looks better. Takashi? Takashi Miike? Oh gosh. I'm not familiar with Takashi. The names of the Wii Sports preset characters don't really occupy any space in my brain, I gotta say. No disrespect. No disrespect from to Takashi, but it is a little bit weird to me that like the whole like I don't know, like console avatar thing just kind of like completely, like it basically just doesn't exist anymore. Like I don't know what sort of functionality there is in the Switch 2 for the Mii's or whatever, but even Nintendo like kind of doesn't really care about them anymore. Which I gotta say, I really don't like the Switch UI. It's like very bland and boring. I don't like it at all. You know what? I would believe that. Believe it or not, I would believe that. I think these need to be a little bigger. A little bigger and a little thicker. There we go. You're back? That was quick. That was a really small amount of cleaning. You were right when you said a little cleaning. I gotta do my cleaning tomorrow. Sunday is my cleaning day. It used to be Sunday, and then I changed it to Monday, and now it's back to Sunday. This is my favorite song on this album. Did the dishes? Okay. For some reason, when people say they're gonna do some cleaning, I don't think of the dishes as cleaning. I don't know. I feel like it's, in my mind, it's like a separate category. There's one Millie. Let's see what she looks like. That's not bad. That's a pretty cute me. She doesn't really look like a child, though. I don't know. I guess it's hard to make it. I guess it's hard to differentiate with Mii's. I don't really know what I meant by that. That's good. You don't want that. Actually, now that I think about it, I did the dishes at my friend's house when I was staying over. I did them this time, and the last time I stayed over at somebody's house, I also did the dishes. Because both times they started to pile up, and I don't know. I think it's like a trigger for me. I'm not sure what it is, but I really can't stand it when there's like a bunch of dirty dishes piling up. Yeah, I don't know. The children me's don't really look like children to me. They just look like they just look tiny. They just like are abnormally short. Like they don't look any more young than the other characters. They just are shrunk down. I like the guy with the glasses. I like glasses, man. I see. We need to come up with a name for this nice young lady as well. Which the naming conventions for human or the naming conventions for these types of characters or characters in these games are actually very strict. Believe it or not. You played more Beyond Citadel earlier? I want to play those games. Would those make for good stream games? Maybe I'll see how much they are on the Steam sale. I'm not really trying to pick up anything on the Steam sale, to be honest. I have enough games to play that I don't think I need to. So if you want to make a true... If you want to make a true Yume Nikki fan game, let me just make sure I have this correctly. The original character's name in Yume Nikki is Madotsuki, which means like a window or like a little, not like a window in like your house, but like a window for like, you know, an aperture or like a little like a slot or something, like a little thing that you peek through or that you can see through, not like a window in your house or like that kind of thing. And then the Yume Tsuki's character, what's their name? Urotsuki, which I think means like liar or something like that. What does Urotsuki mean? But all their names end in ski, and they're not like names. They're just like words. Yeah, Urotsuku means to wander around aimlessly. And then there's like Dot Flow. What's her name in that? Oh, there's a lot of, oh, you can't like if you type in Dot Flow, it doesn't like, yeah, here we go. You gotta like type out the dot. It's Sabitsuki, which I think means, yeah, it means rust covered. So they're all like, they all end it in ski, and they're not like names. Depends on if I think a boomer shooter would be good to stream. I don't know. I don't really know what I mean when I ask that question. I guess I'm just looking for not like no. Like if I were to say like would that be a game to stream and the answer is no, then That's pretty definitive. If it's like, I don't know, or maybe, then I think that's okay. I'm just looking for not a hard no. It's the horniest you've seen a game be about the genre. It is. With all the... Oh, okay. I was about to say, what do you mean by that? You don't mean like normal horny. I'm not really sure how to interpret that. It's just really into the idea of being a boomer shooter. But I mean, I think all the gore and stuff is... That is a turn on for certain people, so I don't know if that's in its own separate category. Tell you about the name stuff. So the names of the protagonists, I guess, like, they all end in Tsuki. Or at least classically. I think there's a lot of games that move away from this, but Tsuki, which is these are like two different... Japanese is syllables, so it's tsu and ki. And they're all words and not names. Like, they aren't things that you would traditionally name someone. They're just like words. There's Madotsuki, which is like a window or like an aperture. There's Urotsuki, which means like Urotsuku is to wander around. Sabitsuki, which means like covered in rust. I think with Collective Unconsciousness, they went with Minatsuki, which is like everybody or all of us. It's definitely a Gorehound game. Okay. There is incest in it also. Alright. Well, we've played games with incest in them before, so I guess that's not really a big deal. We've already gone over that. Or have we? Now that I think about it. I was gonna say, I think that happened in Drakengard, but I actually don't think that was one of the things that happened in Drakengard. A lot of other stuff happened in Drakengard, but I don't know if it had incest in it. Have we played any games that had incest in them? I don't know. I'm trying to think now. I don't think so. Huh. We must have at some point, right? There's got to be something I played that had incest in it. But I don't know. Citadel could claim the title? I see. We're gonna have to... Wait, am I doing two different... Oh, yeah, that's right, because I copy-pasted. That's right. Forgot about that. I copy pasted something. Whenever you copy paste something, it always makes a new layer. There's probably a setting that you can change so it doesn't do that, but it is better that way. I'm not trying to change that. I want to use like a very like I don't know. I'm really bad at figuring out color palettes, so I might just like look up like Super Nintendo colors. I want to use like a very limited color palette. Oh, never mind. That doesn't really work. I'll just have to come up with my own color palette. I don't know. I'm bad. I'm bad at colors. I don't like them. I'm not a fan. I don't like colors. They piss me off. I feel like, I don't know. There's one mod for Eat a Dream Barbecue. I'm surprised there's any. All it does is disable jumping. That's weird. Why? What's the rationale for that? Couldn't you just not jump? I don't understand. If you so choose to, could you not just not jump? I think I... Okay. I think I want to have a thicker outline and thin up the lines that aren't on the out. Thin up the in lines. I guess there aren't really that many lines that are purely on the inside. Oh, yeah, wait, hold on. I don't know what just made me think of this. Maybe it's because I said inline, like inline skate. a game like Humaniki or something where you just kind of like wander around these weird environments. Just take that idea, but make it into a skating game where you can skateboard, and you're skateboarding around these cool, fanciful, dreamlike environments. That would be kind of awesome. That would be kind of freaking epic, I think. I could go for a nice skateboarding game or something like that. I didn't really play too many of those when I was younger, but I like the idea. I like the idea of those types of games where it's like extreme sport plus something else. Or really just skateboarding. I like the idea of skateboarding in another game that's not just about skateboarding. Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna make it so she starts off without a hat, and then you can put on a hat. Whatever. We can come back. We can do that later. That is a very non-essential feature that we can come back to and add later if we feel like it. That is extremely not important. Is that lined up? Yeah, it is. Okay. Wait, no, don't do that yet. I'm being silly. Finish doing the eye and then do that. I'm being very dumb with my thinking here. Perfect. I think. That looks kawaii, right? You look at that and you go, sugoi, right? That's what it makes me think. That's what it makes me say. Let's see if we can add little lashes down here. Just the barest suggestion of eyelashes. Perfect. And can we get a little nose? Do we want a mouth too? Yeah, I think we do. I think we do want a little mouth and a nose. Maybe not a nose. I don't know. We'll go with this for now. That looks pretty alright, right? That looks pretty alright for a base sprite. I think I just want to start with like the basic you know, like forward facing, like neutral, forward facing, facing left and right, facing away, and probably do facing diagonals. That's probably what we want. And then we'll go from there. Thoughts on Siobhan? That's how you say that, right? Siobhan? I don't know. She looks a little bit like she got a bit of strabismus going on. I know that she doesn't. I think it's the positioning of the glasses. I don't know. Siobhan seems like she's not quite all there. Close enough. All right. I think this is, oh yeah, this is the end of the album. All right. I'm pretty pleased. I'm pretty pleased with our progress so far, though. I think it's looking good. I feel like I'm not very good at doing, like... I'm not very good at doing, like, strict sprite work. Like, when I try to make it, like, really, like, rigidly, like, a old video game sprite, I feel like I'm not very good at that. But when I just kind of, like, make a sketchy, pixely thing, I feel like it comes out pretty well. Or at least I like it. When I try to, like, put too many constraints on myself. How goes the creation of Yuma Sticky? I think it's coming along pretty well so far. I guess this would be like the front-facing sprite. Just standing there. But I like it so far. How about Ian? Ian is very powerful, I feel like. Ian is strong. I think if characters in Wii Sports had stats, Ian would be a power type. He had a very high strength and stamina. Looks like a YouTuber that exclusively reviews beer. That is an incredibly good description. That is an incredibly good. That's spot on, I would say. I can't even disagree. I can't disagree with that one iota. Well, swordplay is not all about strength. You gotta have some technique too. Swordplay isn't purely. It's not just raw power. But yeah, I am gonna take a break. I don't know what I want to play for the break song. I don't know what I want to play after the break either. Actually, I kind of do know what I want to play after the break. I see. I don't know. I feel like you could go in a few different directions with Ian. I feel like I see a few different directions. I feel like there's a bit of Scandinavian in there too. I feel like that's another strong. If I had to guess, I think that's what I would have guessed. Some Scandinavian country. If someone pointed a gun directly at my head and told me to guess the nationality of the Mii Sports character Ian, I think that's what I would have said. And I would have died for it. That would have been the end of my life if that were to happen to me. Or maybe they would have pointed the gun at my head and asked me that question, and I would have stammered and answered, and they would have been like, wrong answer. And then, slightly pressed down the trigger, and I would have closed my eyes, and they would have been like, psych, haha, just playing. Maybe that would have happened too. I don't know. It could go a few different ways. Anyway, I'll be back in a few minutes. Ooh, I'm back just in time. I thought I was gonna be late. I thought I was gonna be late on that one. You flinched. You know what that means. Bang, 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 bang. I made a skit with my friends. That was kind of like that. I made a video skit with my friends. That was similar to that. I used to love making videos with my friends. That was one of the most, like, it was just fun. I just loved doing it. We all had a good time. I need to get back in touch with that mentality. I need to get back in touch with that sort of creative spirit. Because when I was doing it, we just did it for fun. We never did it with any sort of like motive for like getting famous or like trying to like appeal to people or like have other people watch it. We literally just did it because we thought it was fun. Like we did put them on YouTube, but we really just put them on YouTube so we could watch them wherever we wanted to. It was never meant to be like a thing. And I put so much effort into them as well. I put a lot of effort into some of those videos. We made like a fake action movie, and I pirated a copy of what is it? Adobe After Effects, and I added in like, you know, gunshots and like blood splatters and things like that. I put in a lot of effort into some of this shit. So the special effects in that movie are not good. I'm not gonna go ahead and say that they're good, but they're like, they're better than like some like actual like movies I've seen. Like there's some like real like shit that people put out there on like Netflix and like Amazon and stuff where it's like, I've done better special effects than that as a child, just fucking around with After Effects. I was that serious about it. Again, not saying they were good. Not at all saying they were good, but there was a level of effort put into it that is surprising. Like that one movie where Satan had a castle made out of missiles. I'm not familiar with that one. I don't know that one, I gotta say. I'm not familiar with the Satan Missile Castle movie. Missile Castle is really fun to say, though. It also sounds like it would make for a sick level in a video game. The Missile Castle. That sounds like it would be a really fun level to play through in like a action platformer. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the point was I put a shitload of effort into this stuff that was really just purely for fun. And not meant to be like there was never even like an expectation that anyone at all would ever see it, except for me and my friends. And I want to get back to that. I want to get back in touch with that spirit, you know? It's gonna be, it's difficult, you know? I think it's gonna be difficult to get there, but I never really thought about it. Or I haven't thought about that in a long time, but it's true. Team Apartment 3. I don't know what that is. Is this like a Team Fortress joke? Is this a real thing? What am I gonna get when I search up Team Apartment 3? Nothing. I'm gonna get nothing. I'm gonna get ads for, I'm gonna get Zillow ads. That's what I thought it was. But that could still be a thing. That could still be a real thing. And it was also such a non sequitur, I wasn't really sure what to get out of it. I really want to make a game where you have a copy power, where you have Kirby copy ability powers. Or at least that's an element of the game. Oh, this is loud for me. I mean, it could be loud for you too, but I don't think it is. Team Mercs, are they? I didn't know that. Some of these Miis are like unhinged. They're like somewhat deranged. Were the Miis the inspiration for the Humans series? I feel like the more I look at Miis, I feel like I could see it. Whether conscious or subconscious, I feel like there's at least some influence there, you know? I think it may have been a subconscious influence. I don't know. It's hard for me to shake the idea now. Now that I've connected the two things in my mind. Should I bother shading this? I'll do a little bit of shading. Coworker whose sole personality trait was being blatantly flamboyantly gay. That's unfortunate. I mean, I personally don't think of being gay as a personality trait, but I know that a lot of people probably do. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who do make it a core part of their personality. Two red tinted glasses men in Wii Sports, Akira and Martin. I'm probably on Akira's side. I clicked on Martin first. Hold on. Yeah, I definitely like Akira better. He looks like an Akira too. That guy, Akira he looks very Japanese. Martin Reeds is very French to me. I don't know why. Maybe French Canadian. You know what? French Canadian. Martin Reed's very French Canadian. Martin's German. I could see that too. I could see the German. He's working on he's working on a DJ set. Martin's definitely working on a DJ set for sure. He's working on a DJ set that is unfortunately not as good as he thinks it is. The new Greet Death album is very good also. I really like this band. I think I posted it in the Discord. I think I might like this one. I think I might like New Hell better. I think Die in Love is more consistent. I think Die in Love, I like all the songs. Whereas Greet Death, I feel, or New Hell, there's a few songs that I don't like that much. But I think the highs in New Hell are much higher than the highs in Die in Love. Like the final song on this album and You're Gonna Hate What You've Done are just like, I made an okay hand sign, which ironically means a lot more than okay in my mind. A different me? Oh yeah. Or OG Akira has much better got much more personality. You've got yourself some manner of dude. I feel like that would be a solid line in something, in like a movie or a game or something. I think we've got some manner of dude here. He appears to be some manner of dude. And then the other character who's having this information relayed to them is like, they give a very thoughtful, like, They think about that statement very deeply in response. And they go, Oops. No, that's a line in like an Ace Attorney game. When you examine something, the surface appears to have some sort of glue residue on it. What could that mean? That's another type of game that I want to make one day. It's an Ace Attorney style investigation visual novel. This was mentioned, I think, it might have even been on the stream where we were last working on this project, or this idea, but... I think a really strong contender for that is the angel who's sent to hell to defend people in Hell Court. I think that's a really strong idea. That could make for a great game. Like a very, I don't know, an angel who's being like, they're under review. They're about, this is like their last chance before they get stripped of their, before they have to turn in their wings in Halo and they get demoted. For whatever reason. Whatever their personality flaw is. Guest me's, what about him? Sans on, okay. What's going on over there? Are you okay? Also, what's the come on about? You just got, oh, the Homestuck Labubu fan art. You can fight against the Labubu as much as you want, but it comes for everybody. I'm sorry. It's part of the global AI network. It's part of the global, the Akashic Record, the Noosphere. The Labubu has infected your spiritual aura, I'm sorry. You're going to have to contact a shaman or something. A shaman or somebody else of higher, etheric learning to get that out of there. It's your only recourse now. I'm sorry. What do they mean by guess? Oh, these guys and gals. I know these ones. I don't know. I gotta say, I don't really have any strong feelings about them. What is the Discord? Why is there a Discord? The Discord for what? Wii Sports? Well, there is somebody in the Wii Sports Discord whose name is Papyrus Sans as one word, and it looks like they have the trans flag as their avatar. So I don't know why I felt the need to point that out. Maybe it was because that was just posted in the chat, but it was framed through boring gay boy whateverness. Elaborate. That's another one of those sentences that doesn't... On first pass, it means almost nothing to me. I really don't know what that's supposed to mean. I really am not sure what I'm supposed to get out of that. I like it. Oh, okay. All right. Now we do side views and things like that, which are a little... I'm not good at doing this. So this is facing right. I guess I'll call it left, because we'll go with the orientation that you're walking in. Yes, I do remember Takashi. Takashi-san. I do remember him. This is an exercise in just winging it. That's what this is supposed to be. Man, it would be so cool. I gotta talk to Picture about this. It'd be so cool to like eventually like I don't want it to be in like the I don't want this to be like a focus of the game, but to have it have like a level editor or something. Or like eventually make a version that has like online functionality. Like you manipulate online. It'd be cool to like make that like part of the like have support for that. Hillbilly gun guys? Damn. Maybe one day I'll get a gun. I don't know. I think about it every once in a while. It's very low on the list of priorities, though, I gotta say. The Dardic? I don't think I know what this one is. Oh yeah, this is a much more normal looking Takashi. That's your standard variant Takashi. Oh. I kind of like it. It's very stupid looking. But I kind of like it. Hey, was that made in Hamden, Connecticut? Whoa. It's like a very dumb looking Ruger. Or like a... Whatever the... I can't remember the name right now. I think it's the Mauser. Whatever the Red 9. Yeah, the Mauser C96. That's the one I want. That's my #1 gun to own. Magazine fed, reloaded by... Yeah, stripper clips are awesome. I guess this is more like a diagonal, now that I think about it. This can be a diagonal. Or I guess down left. That's what I'll call it. On the DL. Oh, yeah. That's like... That's like, I didn't know it was possible for me to inhabit the uncanny valley, but I think that one does. I didn't know it was possible for me to exist in the uncanny valley, but... It's like almost there. It's like almost a person, but not quite. I think this is kind of helping me already with my stated goal. I think honestly working on this on stream is like... I don't know, because I don't really have any ideas. Like, I don't really have anything like super planned out for this. I'm just kind of winging it. It's fun. I probably do know, man. I can't conjure up his image in my mind immediately, but I probably would recognize him. I want to do like a collaborative project or something. Or like, not a collaborative project, but like... I want to inspire people to make things. I want to inspire people to create things. And I want more creative friends who make cool shit. That's the one thing that I know about that I've noticed or that I really thought about with my friends from back home. None of them are really creative at all. They're not very, none of them are artistic. I don't know. I think I need to finish this whiskey before I really get into it, but I've been thinking. I've been doing a lot of thinking. Oh yeah, everybody knows Matt. Kamen Rider Zez. I like Kamen Rider, but I've only watched one half of one series. I need to like really sit down and watch Kamen Rider one day. Cause I watched like half of Kamen Rider Black. And I really like it. It's really fun. I actually really enjoy it. But I don't know. It's very like like I said, I'm a big fan of practical special effects, and I'm a big fan of like action movies and like kung fu movies specifically. That's basically what Kamen Rider is. It's a lot of practical effects and a lot of kung fu, a lot of action set pieces, and it's really fun. And like Kamen Rider Black, at least, I don't know what the other series are like, but Black specifically is very like horror movie esque, or like it draws a lot from like pulp horror and like that kind of stuff, which I think is really interesting and fun. There's an episode of Kamen Rider Black where he fights Satan. I wasn't ready for that. There's like a cult in the mountains and they summon Satan, and Kamen Rider punches him and then he kicks him in the face and he blows up. I wasn't ready for that. It was a great episode. Other Matt's pretty good. I like Other Matt. This is a great song too. You're gonna say something. The last time you said it, I said not to say things like that. Well, now I want to. Now I have to know what it is. Now I need to know what it is. This hasn't. This hasn't come up in a long time, but that's actually my least favorite thing for people to say. Is when people say, "Well, I was gonna say something, but I shouldn't," or "Now I'm not gonna say it." You could have just not said anything and it would have been okay. But now I need to know. Now I have to know what it is that you were gonna say. You're not gonna get it. You can't get off the hook now. Now I need to know what it was. Yeah, I think this is like, I kind of accidentally made a diagonal sprite. I didn't mean to do that, but I think this works better as a diagonal facing sprite than a side facing sprite. I was too conservative. I needed to be more radical. Guillermo. Ooh, baby. That looks like a Guillermo. I feel like I'm developing a stream sixth sense. I feel like I can tell how a stream is gonna go before it happens. I feel like the stream is going exactly as I expected it to. I feel like I have a pretty good sixth sense, just like in general. Not to like jinx it or anything, but then we move the. I guess it's in line with the little hair flip, which I didn't mean to do that, but I inspired you to start streaming? Really? Aw. Well, I hope you keep at it then. I hope it was good inspiration and not bad inspiration. I hope I inspired you in a good way. Streaming is fun. And also, probably when I said don't say things like that, I was probably just kidding. I probably was saying don't say things like that because it makes me too emotional. It makes me feel too emotional and it's embarrassing. Most of the time when I say stuff like that, I'm not being like totally serious. Although apparently it's very hard to tell when I'm being serious or not. That's a big issue for me that still continues to this day. I think I recognize Theo as well. I think I recognize him too. I don't know. I guess I haven't talked about like the stated goals of the stream in a while, but like or the unstated goals of the stream. I guess if I don't talk about them, that would make them unstated and not stated. That's kind of what those words mean. But one of the things that I wanted this to be a stream where people can feel like they can where people feel like they could say whatever it is they want to say. and they don't have to like censor themselves. Or, like, they don't have to worry too much about, like, you know, controlling their speech or whatever. I want people to say whatever it is they want to say without feeling like they need to, like, you know, dance around things. I can handle it. Which is why I try not to ban people either. Even when I probably should. I try to be very... I don't know. I prefer to, like, hash things out. Or, like, if somebody's being a dickhead, it gives me an excuse to be a dickhead back. Which I enjoy doing. So... I like I. What kind of jokes do they make about I's name? Nothing really comes to mind when I see that, but it could also just be because I'm a weeb and I know that I is just like a normal Japanese name. So I might be a little bit biased in that regard. AI? I don't know, I guess. I don't really see it. I've had a notable impact on your style for many things. Damn. That's a compliment. I feel like that, I don't know. I take that as a very high compliment. Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, see, like, I just know like, I know that that's a name. That's like a normal name, so it wouldn't really occur to me to even think that. I just feel like, oh, she's named I. I don't know. That's like probably the number one thing that I've gotten out of streaming is that I don't gotta stress so much about a lot of things. Especially about who I am as a person. It turns out that I actually am a likable person. And I do have positive qualities. Which is something that I didn't think was true for a very long time. Back when I really, really hated myself. To an absurd degree. I did that a lot. I did fantasize a lot about different ways my body could die. It's true. I has the shortest name. Are there any names out there that are only one letter? And I mean, like, I mean names with like a cultural history, not just some random name that somebody got named like one time 5 years ago. Names with like a real like lineage to them. Is this like, I think maybe this is a little too extreme. I think the stitching is maybe a little bit too far to the, yeah, because it comes like, it should be more like this, I feel like. It's right between the eyeballs. So, like here. Oh, is a surname? I'm talking about first names though. I don't know. I'm trying to integrate. That's my big that's my big goal lately, is integration. Which I might elaborate on after the song is over. I kind of just want to listen to the song. I really like this song. I think I kind of just want to listen to the music for a little bit. I'll probably end up talking over it anyway, but still. Um, I guess we do the color now. Figuring out the position of the eyes and the mouth. Generally, no. Okay. Fuck. I almost did it. All right. How far do the eyes come down? Like, all right. Well, that kind of fucked that up, but it's alright. It's no thing. It ain't no thing. I gotta concentrate sometimes. Every once in a while, I gotta concentrate. I'm sorry. I don't like having to do it, but sometimes it's necessary. I also really like the layered vocals in this part of the song. You can hear both singers at the same time on top of each other. I think it's a very nice effect. Fuck! She looks a little droopy, but I guess that makes sense. I guess I like that. I guess I like a little bit of droop. That seems appropriate. How do you say appropriate in Japanese? That's a good question. Let's learn some vocabulary together. Tekisetsu. Or fusawashi. That's an adjective, so that probably would be like, or I don't know. I guess they're both adjectives. I don't know. The second one feels better to me. Fusawashi. It's very fusawashi. I already closed the tab, but I should have studied the kanji there too. I just looked at the pronunciation like a fucking idiot. And I didn't actually look up what... I didn't actually memorize or study. With the constituent conjugate. How many? It's 1 pixel. It's a 1 pixel gap. Uh... There we go. That's freaking epic, dude. I'm pogging. I'm starting to pog. Somebody stop her. She's starting to pog. You're adjusting the leg to make it... You mean on the trench coatman? Oh, okay. I think this is the first I'm seeing of the leg. Oh, to make it less organic. Okay. Take the flesh and make it 2B1C09. I don't know how to do that in this program. I'm not entirely sure how to get to a screen that will allow me to input that data. Can you give me that? Can you give that to me as an RGB value? That I can do right here. I don't know if I can get to a screen that allows me to enter that type of information. $43, 28, 9. Okay. That's really dark. That is 9. Oh wait, no, I'm doing it in the wrong. 43, 28. Nine. That's like really, I don't know. Let's see here. Hold on, we'll make a separate layer here. It's not bad, but I think I would have to. I think I'd have to adjust the other colors in the palette. I do like it, but I think I would have to adjust the hair and the clothes. It's like much darker than everything else to like a noticeable degree. It looks a little off with the other colors. It's too rich. I think it would need to be. I think it would need to be toned down a little bit, or the other colors would need to be thickened up slightly. I don't know if it quite works. I'm not against the idea, but '70. Okay, hold on. This is the last one. I'm about to get up and take a break. 74, 49, 18. Yeah, that looks better. That I don't mind. I still have the inclination to adjust the rest of the outfit to match, but I don't dislike it. I think we'd have to. It's got to be like a. It's got to be like a fighting game palette, you know, with the alternate colors in a fighting game. We'd have to like adjust everything, I think. But I do like it. They don't really do that anymore with fighting games, and I kind of wish they did. I guess Guilty Gear does it. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I'm not really sure how the modern Guilty Gear, how Strive does it, or if it was an Ixard, but in older fight, like sprite-based fighting games, they would just completely change the skin color of the characters, which I always liked. I think it's cool. They do it? Okay. Street Fighter doesn't really do that anymore. But I wish they did. I don't think I have. I didn't really I never really played Strive, so I played it a little bit and I wasn't really a huge fan. But I'm gonna take a break. I can feel myself entering like I don't know, I'm entering a state. I'm not sure what state it is, but it is a state. Do you know what I really want a fighting game to do? If I ever end up making a fighting game, I'm gonna do this as like I'm gonna do this as like maybe like the last like DLC. Or maybe like I don't know, this needs to be like because it would be like a huge undertaking. but I would really want it to be like, I don't know. I think this is like a really fun idea that I would love to see in a fighting game. I want to have the Rule 63 or like the gender swap DLC. I want to have like alternate costumes that are like the opposite gender swapped version of the character. I think that would be really fun to do. Like, I think if you did that though, you'd have to do it for every single character. I think it would be unfair. It would be unfair to do that only for certain characters. So it'd be like a big undertaking. You'd have to do it like after every character is released. So it'd be like a final season type thing, like a sunsetting type DLC. But I would really like to do something like that. The make every character, no, it wouldn't be make every character a woman. It would be a gender swap. So the women would become men and the men would become women, and the agender characters would become, I guess they would just get a different costume. That would actually be a really great joke if there was like very androgynous or like agender characters, and then the gender swap DLC is like they look very slightly different. They're like almost exactly the same, but they have like a slightly different hairstyle. They're exactly the same, but they're facing right instead of left on the character select screen. That feels like the kind of joke that only I would laugh at, but I think is very funny. Yeah, Midnight Bliss, but it's permanent. It's not temporary. I do also like that in fighting games when they play with the color palette and it's like they edit the colors so sometimes it's skin and sometimes it's clothing. I don't know, fighting game color palettes are very refined. They're high art. They're very like fighting games kind of live and die by their alt color palettes. These are okay. A lot of them are too similar though. A lot of them are too similar. Like half of these, her undershirt is white or basically white, and then the other half it's like black slash dark gray, which is like there's a lot of, I don't know. And like the ribbon like is mostly black on like more than half of the color palettes. I don't know. They could have gotten a little more creative, I feel like. Bridget's a she now, right? I'm getting that right. She's a blonde, blue-eyed Brit. Yeah. What is Britain like in the Guilty Gear universe? I don't know. It's probably very steampunk, if I had to guess. I would guess Britain is very steampunky in the Guilty Gear verse. But I don't know. There's definitely a Britain stage in Accent Core. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's like a huge geared up Big Ben in the background. It's very funny. Anyway, I'm gonna take a break now. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm fading. I'm dying. My essential fluids are running low, but I shall persevere. Probably. Ooh, that was another one I was right on time. I think there's a cricket in my garage. I think there's a cricket in the garage. I'm hearing very loud I've been hearing very loud cricket noises throughout the stream. And I just went out to the garage and I was like, I'm pretty sure there's a cricket in here. It certainly sounds like it. It's certainly really loud. So I'm gonna have to go find that sucker after the stream's over, just to go look at it. Not to do anything to it, just to go look at it. I've become very against killing bugs. I don't enjoy killing things. It feels bad. I try not to kill them. I've kind of become a hippie. I guess I kind of always was, but I think that might be part of my emotional side. I don't like killing. No, not in the video game Garage. In the real life location. I'm tired. I think this might be, I don't know, I think we might be entering the part of the stream where I pretend to do art, but I don't actually do it. We might be rapidly approaching that part of the stream. I'm not sure yet, though. We'll see. The moths. Those damn moths. Why would they do this? I don't know. I don't like doing it, but I also sort of like have adopted the view of like it's just a part of the natural progression of events. It's just like it's like the bug or whatever wandering into the lair of a predator or walking into a spider's nest. These things just happen. It's unfortunate, but this kind of thing just happens occasionally. Sometimes you wander into a place you're not supposed to be and you pay the price for it. sometimes that price is your life. Sometimes you're a little bug and you just get owned by something way bigger than you because you lack the sort of big picture view and the awareness necessary to survive in those situations. I can use those skin tones for some kind of NPCs, thank you. You don't claim ownership over this color of skin? I appreciate that. I may very well do such a thing, I'm not sure. I don't know if I want, like... I don't know if I want there to be other human characters in this game. I think I might want them to all be creatures. Various flavors of creature. I don't know, though. Claw, hand, foot. Interesting. Could be elves? They could be. Oh, you could make it like, what's the character from Anarchy Reigns? Durga? This is a reference literally only I'm going to get. But Durga, I think that was his name. I don't know why I remember this. Yeah, he's got the fucking machine gun leg. That guy was cool. I mean, everybody in Anarchy Reigns is cool, but you could give this guy a machine gun leg. I guess it's a revolver. Yeah, I guess it's more of a revolver. Man, Anarchy Reigns was so good. That game needs a re-release. Or like a sequel or something. I love that game. I know that there's I need to play the story mode of that game. I know that there is a story mode. I don't know if it's worth playing, but it would be fun to go back to that game. That game's so much fun. I've been talking to Picture a lot about this recently. It's like a very hard to define goal, but if we ever / when we eventually decide to make multiplayer games, one of my main stated goals is to just make the games fun. Like, I feel like it's a very it's an issue with multiplayer games is that a lot of people just consider them like miserable to play. And they're like way too focused on being competitive. And I want to like actively, consciously fight against that in whatever way possible. And I feel like for me, Anarchy Reigns was like one of those games where it's like it was like an online like beat 'em up, like you were competing against other people, but it was just fun. It was just fun to play. And it was like it was hard to get upset at that game. It was hard to rage. I want to mitigate rage gaming as much as possible. I want to dismantle the ranked mentality. I want to dismantle the power structures that force us to play for MMR. I don't necessarily know how to do that. I don't know how to do that consciously, but I want to try. I think it's a goal worth striving for. I think it's a goal worth Guilty Gear striving for. What up, Cheryl? How's it going? Bless up. I was just taking stock earlier. I was just taking stock earlier of all the people that have done fan art for me. I'm having a little difficulty speaking right now. I can feel the slurring starting, but I was just taking stock earlier of all the people that have done fan art for me, and I gotta thank you for doing that. I gotta thank everybody who's made fan art of me. I don't think I did that properly earlier, but I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I should do some more Churl fan art now that there's a new model out there. Now that there's a new avatar that looks almost the same as the old one. It's basically the same thing, just like, you know, in someone else's art style, but you have a nice made one of me? You need to post that immediately. What are you talking about? Whenever I see any fan art of myself, I don't like to criticize other people's artwork unless they ask for it. I don't notice mistakes unless people want me to notice them, if that makes any sense. I just want to see it. Oh, art of one of the May. Oh, that's even better. I haven't seen too much of the stream since the model update. I disabled notifications on I disabled any notifications on Twitch, so I don't really get notified of when people go live right now. I'm taking a little bit of I need a little bit of a sabbatical from. I'm in soul search mode, so I need a little bit of a sabbatical from watching and engaging with shit. But I did like it. It feels like a natural evolution. If you make it official, Trill, you would be the first person to draw fan art of the maids. I don't think anybody's done that yet. You drew an elf? I want to see it. Also, I can't grant installation rights against fighting games. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to refund that later if I remember how to refund channel points. If that's a specific installation directed at fighting games, I don't think I can guarantee that. You're gonna be infected just by watching the stream. I'm sorry. You did that? Wait, what did I say? What is that a counter to? What are you correcting? Let's try on Mondays for family board game night. Oh, I'd be down for family board game night. That sounds fun. You're gonna single player solitaire like? Is that the latest game dev design thing? I need to write down shit for my TTRPG. I've had a lot of ideas for my TTRPG that I gotta get down. It's half TTRPG, half board game. It's not meant to be like a full. It's like in between. It's meant to be like a type. It's meant to be like a dungeon crawler type thing that you can just pick up and play without like having to organize a campaign. You can take it across multiple sessions if you want to, but the idea is that you can just treat it like a board game where you just play a session and then like continue or not depending on if you like it or whatever. In other words, total party kills are encouraged. I'd be down for family board game night, but again, I am a vampire. I have to reiterate this. I'm a vampire. I need to be invited in. That's another aspect of the vampire lore that translates to real life as well. I gotta be invited in. Otherwise, I can't cross the threshold. So you did actually draw the maids kissing. I see. Oh wait, that's right. I forgot about this. There was a discussion about how nobody had drawn fan art yet, and then Stone immediately drew some fan art. That's right, I forgot. Stone holds the title of first fan art of Spit and Shine ever drawn. I forgot about that. Never mind, I take it back. You can't do that. That's a pretty good clawfoot. It doesn't really read like a hand, if that was the goal, but I like it. No, that's not the title. That's a pretty good elf. The current working title is Dungeon Busters. Because the idea is that dungeons are like alternate dimensions that are intruding upon reality. Basically, humanity has adopted a technology where they can travel through subspace, and they basically use it like the subway, and it's like the basis of modern technology is tapping into this alternate dimension. But the problem with that is that much like how fossil fuels cause pollution in our world, tapping into this alternate dimension causes intrusions and pollution of other realities into our into normal reality. So these rifts open up and creatures start pouring out and that kind of thing. So there's a subsection of people both employed by the government and as a mercenary organization that go into these rifts that open up and try to close them. And so you're a member of either a government employee or a mercenary who goes into these rifts to travel through a little dungeon and then close it up. And so each session would be basically a dungeon crawl that you go into and you try to do whatever it is you need to do to close the rift and prevent downtown, prevent your favorite subway shop from being irrevocably dragged into another dimension and unreclaimable. Assembly robot claw. I think it could be like, I think you could accentuate that a little bit more, but I also think it could be like maybe the actual end bits were like cobbled together or fucked with a little bit to make them more like more foot-like. You know? And this is also like, also the lore for Dungeon Busters ties into the lore for the comic that I've been working on for 15 years that never actually became a real thing. But you wanted to pop in and ask why the stream name is Yumeniwa. What up, Minty? Yumeniwa means dream garden, and that's the working title for the Yume Nikki fan game type ripoff thing that I'm working on stream. That is the current production name for whatever this thing ends up being, if it ends up being anything. I mean, I don't think that makes you stupid. I don't think not knowing what that means right off the rip makes you dumb. All right, see you later, Minty. Thanks for popping in. I don't have a working title for the comic, but I do need to get back to that. I've had a lot of renewed motivation to work on it. And part of my renewed motivation was seeing my friends, my IRL friends. I guess I need to like come up with a better name for it. Because I consider you all my friends. At least the regular viewers. The people who pop in frequently. I would consider you friends. But it's sort of like, that's sort of reciprocal, you know? You gotta consider me a friend as well. But anyway, one of my I guess he's not even a high school friend. He's post high school. I met him in the summer after I graduated from high school, but one of my friends from Connecticut has always been like a huge fan of my artwork. He loves my art. And I had a random doodle that I drew in a sketchbook that he saw. And this random doodle has gone on, the design has been iterated on until it became the main character of this huge story idea that I have. It's become like my favorite character that it's become my daughter basically. But this character design was just like a random scribble. It started out as a random scribble in my notebook. And my friend liked the scribble so much that he got it as a fucking tattoo. He did not okay this with me before he did it. But he has an exact copy of the random doodle as a tattoo on his arm. And I'd forgotten about this. And I saw it when I was visiting with them, and I was like, God damn. I need to, like, I gotta make it a reality. I have to do it justice. I have to make her real. I don't know. I still have mixed feelings about that. I was like so like I don't know. In case you couldn't tell, I'm a very self-conscious individual who's very prone to worry. But like I really wish I had gotten more of an okay before he gotten that tattoo. I was like, God damn. This is like a huge thing. This like I don't know. I feel like it meant a lot more to me than it meant to him. So that's like I don't know. I carry that burden. I carry that weight every day. Is that technically not even technically, just literally. I want to say technically, but I can't. My artwork is tattooed on somebody's body, and that's like insane. That's insane. What's happening? What is going on over there, Grinner? Every day you wake up with fresh hatred for America and furries. What up, Seamus? I think if you hate America and furries, you might be in the wrong stream. I think you might be in the wrong stream. I was about to say we kind of attract a lot of those, but I guess we kind of there's not really that many Americans in the stream. I don't even know how many furries there are. What do you mean I'm a Fed? What are you talking about? Where did that come from? Oh, you mean the thing that does the thing? Okay. Yeah, that. Okay. I don't personally have any tattoos, but I still want to get some. I have some ideas for them. I have some ideas for tattoos. Actually, I guess you wouldn't be able to see that. I want to get tattoos that represent all of the completed games that I've made, which currently stands at 0. It stands at either 0 or 1, depending on how you look at it. But I'd like to get tattoos to commemorate the release of games. Elf 2? I think I like Elf 1 better. I think I'm a bigger fan of Elf 1. Shouldn't I see a doctor to see if I'm physically capable of getting my soft, meek flesh tatted? I think I'm okay. I think my flesh is capable of taking a tattoo. I can't imagine it's not. I don't think my flesh is that soft or that meek. I mean, I'm not saying it's not those things, but I don't think it's like exceptional in that regard. What is the most physically capable thing? What is the most physically impressive thing I'm capable of? Well, when you put it like that. I don't think getting a tattoo is that physically demanding. I think I could handle it. Now I'm questioning it. The most physically impressive thing I'm capable of. Is drawing physically impressive? Is that considered a physically impressive feat or not? I think I would be okay in that regard. I think I have a relatively high pain tolerance. More than you would think. Yes? Then probably that, I guess. Probably that. I wouldn't be crying during it. That is, yeah, that is true, but that's like... That's just treating your physical health poorly. That's just not taking good care of yourself. That's not like a physically impressive feat. And big into the foot claw? Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why, but talking about my soft, meek flesh kind of like... It triggered something within me. It triggered some thoughts that I've been thinking about, but I have to get up or I piss myself. I have to get up very quickly. All right. I wasn't trying to be ominous. Great ogre known as Sleep is holding his gnarled club overhead. I mean, if you gotta go to sleep, go to sleep. Definitely get some rest. I'm not using... No, it's not an excuse to be horny again. It's not an excuse to be horny. Although I have been exceptionally horny lately. I'm trying to keep it in check. I'm trying not to let it bleed through too much into the stream. Forget I said that. Ignore that. I'm trying to suppress it as much as possible. I'm trying not to, like... I don't want... Yeah, I don't want to romanticize... I want to... This is, like, an idea that I've been grappling with for a long time, but, like... I feel like the idea of romanticizing poor mental health is a big problem with certain types of creators. And I've had an idea for a long time about, like, a story about someone who's in a really bad mental state, and they're, like, suicidal, basically. And they create some piece of artwork based on those feelings that projects them into the public eye. And they get a sense of fulfillment out of that. And they're really happy that their artwork is getting recognition. And then they're like, oh shit. All of my fame and my artwork is based on me being a depressed piece of shit, and I'm not depressed anymore. And so they sort of have to grapple with the idea of being able to create art while not being in that mental state, and how the idea that being a sad sack makes you more prone to making poignant pieces of art is like a fallacy. That the truth of the matter is that when you're really depressed, it just kind of makes it hard to do anything, including making artwork. But that's an idea that's been kicking around for a long time, so... Look, I'm just trying to be honest. By lately, I mean, like, the past few days. I mean, since I got back from my vacation. Not a vacation, but a trip. Yeah, that and poverty. That's also, like... That's another thing. That's, like, one of the plot lines for one of the characters in the comic that I was talking about. Is, like, their entire story is the rejection of the quote, "That which does not kill me makes me stronger." Their entire plot line is, like, having horrible things happen to you doesn't make you a stronger person. It just fucks you up and causes trauma. It makes it harder for you to function as a human being. And you shouldn't romanticize the idea of going through difficulties as a way of growing. You should seek happiness and you should try to be happy. And suffering and pain in and of itself is not really a good thing. It's not something that necessarily makes you a better person or makes you more capable of surviving in the world. A lot of the time, it just kind of fucks you up and makes you resentful. And like that character's entire arc is sort of realizing that like it's okay to just be happy. It's okay to just enjoy life. You can just be happy and it's all right. There's value in seeking joy and enjoyment in your life. And it doesn't really need to be anything more than that. But I'm doing that thing again where I talk about ideas, where it's like, it's nice to talk about, but it doesn't actually mean anything without execution. I can say whatever I want, but until it's actualized, it doesn't really mean anything. I got a canvas in front of me, put it to paper. I'm too weak right now. I'm too weak. We're entering the part of the stream where I just pretend to do artwork. This is where the fraud tag enters the fray. I pretend to do art, but I don't actually do it. I pretend to do a lot of things, but I don't actually do it. I pretend to be a female, but I'm not actually. I pretend to be a game dev, but I'm not really. I pretend to be an artist, but, you know. Stop sighing. Don't sigh at me. I don't like it. Also, happiness is not cringe. Happiness is good. You should be happy. I want you to be happy. I want to be happy. You should want to be happy. And you should want to share that joy with other people. That's what's worth fighting for. You need to fight for your own happiness. And you need to spread that happiness to other people. You don't need to just survive. You've got to thrive. You shouldn't romanticize hardship. You shouldn't overly value suffering. Suffering is necessary, but it isn't the end goal. Enough of that? Enough of what? Enough of what? No, I don't. I knew this was gonna happen. I didn't ditch people for. I didn't ditch anyone for anything. You drew a third elf? Okay. I went back. I went back to Connecticut to go to my friend's wedding. And it was a very interesting experience. I was bad-mouthing myself and my gender and my life. I mean, I wasn't bad-mouthing. I was just speaking. I was just saying reality. I don't know if it's necessarily bad-mouthing. It's just the truth. That's how I really feel about it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. What do they do during weddings? I actually missed the vows. I showed up late. I got stuck in traffic on the way to the wedding. So I actually didn't see the ceremony. It, it was actually really funny because like I was standing like I was sort of standing like off the beaten path, like off to the side, like waiting for the ceremony to be over to join the general group of people. And like I was good friends with the groom and I'm good friends with like all the groomsmen. And so as soon as like the vows were said and like the ceremony was over and everybody was walking back to the venue, like the groomsmen like led the procession back to the venue. And I was walking up just be like, "Yo, what's up?" And they were like, "Yo, how's it going?" Like we just like said hello to each other, we like dapped each other up and they were like, "Yo, like I'm glad to see you. Like it's great that you made it out for this." Like as soon as everything was over and everybody was like making their way back to just like the party, it was like I seamlessly inserted myself into the procession. It was very funny. Ooh. I like the purple dreads. I'm a big fan of that. I actually don't know how to dap. I'm famously very bad at dapping. I'm famously really bad at dapping people up. That did happen at the wedding, actually. I did flub, like, that sort of situation. Like the handshake dap situation. I did fuck it up. It's true. Did they all lack eyebrows? I didn't even notice that. I guess you're right. They're all dark skinned, they wear green, and they have no eyebrows. Shut the fuck up. I did finish Chamberlain. I didn't finish the Parappa parts. Alright. No, the picture was not at the wedding. These are all friends that I met in high school or earlier. Picture was met during college. Picture has not actually physically met any of my friends from high school or earlier, which is a major I don't know. I want to say fuck up, but it just hasn't happened. I need to get him into the group. I need to, like, it's a meeting that needs to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. Shut up. There's nobody named Craig. I was about to have a moment. Where it's like, I didn't want to say something. So I was going to say, like, oh, there's something I was going to say, but I didn't want to say it. So I think I just have to say it. I was kind of thinking about, like, the actually women now comment. I didn't really think about it in the moment, but it kind of came up later in the stream where it's like, I don't know, that's like another, like, dividing line for me where it's like, is that a necessary step to consider yourself female? Because I don't think it would be, it's not a step I would ever take. It's not a personal, like, issue for me, but, like, is that a barrier that needs to be crossed? Is that, like, something that has to happen? Or am I just still a fraud? Am I still just playing pretend? I think you did miss this, Seamus. Some trans femmes who don't like that term? What term? Woman? They don't like the term woman? Again, I can be both, Seamus. I could be a fraud and also your bestie. I don't know if we're besties, but I could be both. I don't know. I do love my friends from back home. I do sincerely, deeply love them in a very real way. And I felt that very distinctly going back to see them, but I don't think they'd vibe with it. I don't think they jive with Alchemilia. At least a certain portion of them. I think probably there's a handful that would be okay with it, but I think there's like a significant portion of them that just legitimately would not get it. They just legitimately would not understand. It's outside their experience. And there's a lot about them that's outside my experience too. They're buying houses, they're getting married, they're having children. That's not, I'm not in that, I'm not in that sphere right now. I'm not in that realm. I don't occupy the same space. But it was very, I don't know, it was, I don't really know what the right word for it was, but it meant a lot to me that it's like, there's a lot of things that have changed, but there's also a lot of things that are exactly the same. There are certain things that are immutable, that are never, they're constants, they're universal constants. They're the bonds that are forged in fucking adamantium. They cannot be broken by anything. And I guess even saying that out loud is like, there are certain bonds that are just, they're never going to be broken. No matter how hard I try. So it's just about having the, it's about having the confidence or the wherewithal or the courage or whatever to just like I know that there's nothing that I can do to break these bonds, but there's a lot of hardship and there's a lot of struggle involved in taking them to the next step. And I don't know if I'm ready to do that. I don't know if I'm physically capable. I don't know if I'm spiritually prepared to do those things. Don't have any children at all. But they're not bindings. That's like really what was illuminated for me recently is that I thought maybe they might be bindings, but they're not bindings. They are bonds, and they do mean a lot to me, and they are important. It did. It really did. I don't know. It's just like I really do feel very divided. But not in a bad way, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it. I mean, I guess the flesh isn't really a matter of contention. I mean, the flesh is a matter of contention, but it's always been a matter of contention, and it always will be a matter of contention for as long as I exist. That's something I'll never really be able to reconcile because I despise the flesh at its very core. So I don't think I'll ever be able to get over that. I don't know. I'm not like I don't know. I've taken a very like I've taken the complete opposite route to making this, to embodying this, but I don't really want to be anything. I don't really want to be super attached to any one interpretation of myself. This is what Evangelion taught me. There's an infinite amount of you out there. Every single person that interacts with you has their own vision or their own interpretation of what you are. The idea of who I am in my own head can only ever exist there. I will never see myself the same way that you see me, or that some other person, or some other third person, or any other existence out there experiences me. And I want to be okay with that. I'm just like one of your OCs. I kind of am an OC in a sense. the me that exists on stream and the me that exists off stream and the me that exists here amongst these people and amongst these other people and amongst myself, it's all different. They're all different people. And I guess, like, when I say that I want to integrate, what I really mean is I want to accept all of those different interpretations as being equally real. I want to, like, be okay with the fact that real, true, full integration is basically impossible. Shut up. Stop it. That is true. Craig does not start with the letter M. That is irrefutable. There was a passage in the book I was reading today that really stood out to me. Let me see if I can find it. I'm reading Spring Snow by Mishima, and I really like it. There's one part of it that really it made a lot of sense. No, I read Infinite Jest a long time ago. I have finished that book. And it was good. I do recommend it. Six months is a long time ago. That's a long time. Yeah, this is it. Oddly enough, living only for one's emotions, like a flag obedient to the breeze, demands a way of life that makes one balk at the natural course of events. For this implies being altogether subservient to nature. The life of the emotions detests all constraints, whatever their origin, and thus, ironically enough, is apt eventually to fetter its own instinctive sense of freedom. I kind of feel that deeply in my soul. I feel like I am a very emotional person. So I place limits on myself because I'm scared. I'm scared of expressing it totally and completely. So I have to restrain myself. What I want is for there to be no limits, but I'm afraid of that reality. So I have to establish those boundaries. $6 months is like 5 years. I think I finished Infinite Jest more than 6 months ago, but I don't know. I don't know when I finished it. It could have been yesterday. I have no idea. I don't know. I think maybe there might be a right balance. There may be a universal truth, but it's not something that we as human beings can perceive. If such a thing does exist, it's beyond what we as people can achieve. If there is such a thing out there, we got to accept the fact that we can't get to that level on this layer of existence. There's way too much shit on the screen. There's way too much garbage on the screen right now. You can't even tell what you're looking at. You can't even tell what's happening. I don't want to, but I think I might have to end the stream now. I think I might have reached the point where I gotta end the stream. I think I might be at the point where I gotta call it. This might be a long outro. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. I don't think I could ever be individually one thing. I wish I could, but I feel like I'm a very liminal existence. I exist on the boundary, and I can't firmly place myself on one side or the other. I wish I could, but I don't know. It also probably doesn't matter. Probably none of it matters. It's hard to imagine that, like, anybody gives a shit. It's hard to imagine that even I should care. I don't really want to. It really doesn't matter. There's so many more important things that I have to do. There's so many greater weights that need to be lifted. There's so many more heavy obstacles that need to be overcome. Hello, Bedman. How's it going? You are joining right at the end. I am closing it out here. You're here to say hi? Hello. I appreciate the hello. I don't know. I don't want to care, but I do care. You can't blow a kiss? Okay. Is that what you're trying to do? Well, I still appreciate it. I get it. I don't know. The stream's already gone on for too long. I need to end this immediately before I embarrass myself even more. But thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back tomorrow. We gotta play more Metal Wolf Chaos. We gotta finish Metal Wolf Chaos. That's my goal. That's my goal for tomorrow, is to finish Metal Wolf Chaos. I want it to be only 2 streams, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I'm very tired now. I'm very tired and I'm drunk. And I may be horny. I don't know. I don't think I am. Not currently, but I could probably get there if I really put my mind to it. If I really try, I think I can do it. But you don't have to worry about any of that. I'm dying. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I hope you had a good time. I will be back tomorrow, probably. There's going to be more video gaming. There's going to be more arting. There's going to be more whatever this is. The stream will continue in perpetuity, whether you like it or not. The stream will continue. The torment will never end. And no matter how much you may wish for the agony to be over, it shall continue. Anyway, I think that's all I've got. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go strap myself to a high explosive missile. I'm going to tie a bunch of rope around my waist and tie myself to a high explosive rocket. And then light the fuse and then think about my position amongst the earth and stars and all of the heavenly bodies as it propels me forward into the ether. And I will close my eyes and I will think about who I am and all I've done and my position. As the explosive material strapped to my back detonates and eviscerates me and sends pieces of my body flying throughout the cosmos in the upper atmosphere to rain down upon the unsuspecting citizens of this world as a fine mist, as they breathe in the particulate matter that once made up my physical body. I am going to go do that right now. And I'll see you later. Peace out.